talking about spider guard this week. And I really want to talk about spider guard. Yeah, your fingers are gonna be in a little bit of pain. I want to talk about how we're getting to spider guard from close guard. Okay, just so you kind of have a reference of how to get there, how to be proactive if you feel like you need to start opening up because the person's gonna pass, right? Just a couple reminders here, right? When we're in this position, I've got my sleeve grips, okay? If your hands are really sore, they're gonna get sore, like I suggest taping them if you need to, but if you need to grab the wrists, you can kind of get through the lesson with the wrist grip, but ideally, I mean, you really need the sleeves. So we're here, I'm gonna stiff arm, foot on the mat, I shift to a hip, top knee comes in first. That allows me space to come in and under the arm, foot on the hip, flare. I shimmy out, I need to make space. I get to my hip, that bottom leg is inserted first, and then top foot. I'm staying on that same hip, right? I don't want to just end up like here. Yeah, he's gonna start coming in and passing. This is a really nice angle. I bring my elbows to my hip and I'm stretching him out this way. Here's one thing, right? But here, there's a little more tension. And then I can ride the wave. Side to side, lifting my hips as I shift. So now we're gonna go over a classic sweep from here. I call it the Scizer Sweep, but it's a spider scissor sweep. If you're familiar with the scissor sweep, you'll understand it's very similar in timing and momentum, right? But we're adding the spider guard into it. If you don't know scissor sweep, don't worry. We're gonna learn some basics of it here in a second. What's unique to this is that I'm going to sweep him to this side, whatever side you want, but you're starting kind of on the opposite. So I'm already thinking about the sweep, and I'm gonna set it up from the opposite direction. So as I'm here in this spot, I've ridden the wave a few times for some momentum. When I'm ready, I drop my leg, I'm pulling the arm to me, I'm gonna step on his bicep, and I'm gonna switch to the other hip. Just like a scissor sweep, this leg is gonna be flush on the ground, and it's gonna swipe under his leg. I'm gonna high five the ceiling through his bicep, and I'm gonna pull my elbow back, just like I'm starting a lawnmower, and I'm gonna look behind me. I'm not on my back, I'm on my hip. And then just where the scissor comes in is I'm gonna swipe my legs. And then I'm gonna come up on top, okay? So I swipe my legs over each other. Now for advanced peeps, if this is new to you, you could just stop here and get into mount, right? But I can keep the bicep pinned, let go of the sleeve, pass the arm, I'm gonna grab the tricep grip, hand in the mat, I'm gonna lift myself up, place my foot underneath his head, pinch, and I can fall back for the arm bar, right? If I need to, and he's posturing up with his head, I can just bring the heel in and move. Or, when we're here and I'm using this as a nice pin, I've got this sleeve grip, I can lift the head, transition into a triangle, pinch for the finish, or I can come in also for an arm bar, whatever I'd like. Okay, so we have options there. Let's look at that again. We're here, you're a punch, to my hip, come in. Shimmy back, get to the side, insert. Ride the wave for momentum, and I'm ready. I'm gonna drop, pull the arm towards me, use Brian to start shifting my hip to the other side, kick up, pull back, look behind me where the head goes, the body follows, get into my position. Pin, pass, hand on the mat, come under, pinch, go for the finish. If we're here and I drop and I'm like, I really can't get this sweep, right? They have really good base. Maybe I feel like my leg's not in the right position. I can bring my foot to the inside of the knee. I'm gonna open the door and and come up for the finish. Just like you would do in a Scizer Sweep, right? You can open the knee to make the base wider. It's going to make it easier for me to not go over. So if someone has a big, solid, strong base, and you just can't get that sweep, right, with the traditional scissor, I'm going to open up. So I'm bringing my foot, just at this position, I'm bringing my foot on the inside of the knee. I'm not kicking my partner, right? But I'm not like up here. I'm right on the inside to push it open. See, he's already going to go in that direction, in that hole. I pull the arm towards me, get up on my elbow, and now I'm up on top here. Okay? So I've got my sweep, potential mount points, or going for my submission right away. Okay? So let's say we're here and I'm trying to go for the sweep, but typically what might happen, maybe I don't feel like I have the momentum, maybe I really like triangles, or maybe Brian just kind of, he's good at his posture, not going to come forward, no, you're going to kind of posture back, where it's like, I can't sweep him, right? So I'm going to put my foot on the hip, I'm going to bring his arm in between my legs, I'm going to pull and lift my hips towards him. So I'm stepping on him to lift my hips and pulling his arm through. Now I connect my knee to his ear, and then I'm going to punch. So I'm going to punch this arm across as I punch my leg over his head, which I can certainly do. It was great. And I dropped my foot on the floor. Some people will keep this foot on the hip. I feel like though that can tilt my hips a bit, right? And invite a pass. So I like to place my foot on the mat so that I can square my hips. I'm at a nice 90 now. My hamstring is flush to his neck. I'm at a 90 degree. I can just lock my knee, squeeze the knees, and crunch up. I'm bringing the back of my knee over my shin / ankle, right? If I can't get the triangle and we're here, I can just bring my calf right over to my knee, lift my hips, and go for an armbar. Okay? This is the ideal angle I want to get for the triangle. If I can get it in that 1-2 punch, right? Where I'm looking at his ear, I've got this nice 90, that's great. Doesn't always happen like that, right? So if I end up kind of more straight on, and I'm in this temporary triangle position, I like to call a loose triangle like a temporary triangle. You can use this almost just as a guard too for control. I'm really going to try and lift my hips, make sure the arms across. I'm going to grab the head because he's going to want a posture. To readjust now, because this is nowhere near being tight, I'm going to grab my shin and then put a foot on his hip or on the mat. Usually on the hips a little bit better, as if he's going to try and stack, I can push him away. But now I'm going to readjust and create my angle where I'm looking at his ear. I'm nice and flush. I don't want any space here. I pull the head and just kind of stuff it right into the knee pit. Lock, pinch my knees, and crunch up for the finish. Okay? So, let's look at that. One more time to save time. We're here in our spider position. Right? Making postures. Top foot, the short foot is the one that's going to go to the hip. I'm going to the hip, bringing the leg in between. I'm going to step on his hip and his bicep to deliver my hips to him. Then I'm going to bring my knee towards his head. I'm going to punch this arm across as I punch my hamstring into his neck. Here I'm in a great spot. Lock up, pinch, boom. See how separated he is? His head from his hips? That's ideal. You okay there?
Yeah, I dig it.
But if he can start coming in and stacking, that's the problem, right? If he starts bringing his knees in. So I've got to really try and find his hips, right? Readjust, separate his head, and come in.